Clara. I like your hat.
Thanks. Do you like my freckles?
You've got a beauty spot. Your hat changes shape as well. Oh, it moves. It's like a flying saucer tomato on your. Mine's quite sturdy. Oh, it doesn't. It stays on really well.
I like that we both chose a red.
Red. We match. I like mine.
How are you today?
I'm good, thank you. I'm ready to talk about our topic. What we're going to talk about.
We're doing a money talk today.
Money. We all need money. A very good topic. Also, it's a bit awkward, isn't it, sometimes? Yes. I don't know if you find it awkward.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm not too bad these days. I've become better.
Yeah, I think it's something that you have to push yourself to speak about and be a bit like, you have to have a conversation first with yourself.
Yeah.
I think, and then
I recognize your value.
Yeah. Also because I find that it's hard to speak with people about this, not only with clients, also with other people, for other creatives. I think everyone is a bit like, secretive about this. Yeah. And I think that this conversation can help both sides, can help people who wants to actually book our services or photography or makeup services from people, and the actual creative, the actual people who offer these services.
Yeah, because I feel like I want to be fair as well and not be too overpriced. Well, who knows? But as in, I think when I first started out, I just thought, oh wow, people charge so much, but you get so much money for a day rate for a makeup artist. I'll never be that one. I'm always going to stay fair and charge a reasonable amount. And then over the years of experience, I realized actually there's a lot that goes into this. So we'll clear that up today and talk about that.
I think, there's some things you have to have into consideration when you are putting your prices up. And one of them is experience. How long have you been doing this for? It's not the same you're starting, because then you can do collaborations or you can grow your portfolio, and someone who has a career.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also,
sorry, I'm interrupting you.
Also, you have to have think about expenses, equipment, all these plus your expertise.
Yeah.
And also depending on the project.
Yeah.
It's not the same what we would do commercial photo shoot or fashion photo shoot or e-commerce or weddings.
Yeah, that's true. They're also different, aren't they? Which is, I think, what confuses people sometimes when they think that. But I think for regards to makeup artists, I think some people, if they're not used to how much it costs for a full day for a hair and makeup artist or makeup artist on a photo shoot, they think, well, you're just doing one person's makeup. Surely that will be £50 or £60. I'll give you £100.
Yeah.
But that doesn't work. It doesn't work out like that. If you've got someone, don't get me wrong. At the beginning, I did do work for just expenses for my portfolio. I did a lot of free work. Yeah, you want to learn and get experience, but you also want to prove yourself and make new contacts.
Yeah.
And you get to a point in your career where it's like, you see it build and build, and you've got to value your experience. But how much would you charge then? So for each of those sorts of categories of jobs, what's the average sort of price are people looking at for a photographer? And then
for a photographer full time on a commercial shoot, it would be from 800 to 1,000.
Yeah.
Normally it's model photo shoot, which you have to direct. You may need to bring your own equipment. You have to be like full on and spending on your time trying to direct, to make people feel comfortable, to make sure the lights are spot on, the camera is working, everything. Plus you may need to hire an assistant, but that's something you speak with the client. But yeah, it's full on. So yeah.
And does that get more does that price go up the more experience you get?
Yeah.
So in, say, 3 years' time, Laura, are you still going to be charging 800 to 1,000?
No, I shouldn't. I shouldn't be charging that because, well, hopefully I'll get more projects, and also depending on the client you have or which client you've been working, and experience is a big thing, because experience gives me the knowledge that I know. Because if I'm working with someone and that person reacts that way or reacts the other way, you then with experience know how to handle the situation.
Yeah.
You need to know him. You're in. I'm in charge in that moment, and I need to make sure everyone is doing the job. It's a bit like directing.
Yeah, it is a bit like the director, unless you're on a job where there's a specific second art director there, or something like that. But does that mean you wouldn't work with smaller budgets, or do you still sometimes work with smaller budgets?
I would still work with a smaller budgets. That's like average price for people to know. But it all depends on the project. Again, it's not the same for e-commerce, or it's not the same if it's a small business who needs some pictures. If the project is interesting, let's jump on it. It's I think it's a personal choice, but I think you need to make sure you get paid for your value. It's a bit the same with makeup. I think people think like, oh, it's just this look, or it's just like do some but makeup artists are there in the whole shoot.
Yeah.
And you are during the whole shoot making sure that the hair stays in place.
Yeah.
It stays in place.
Yeah.
So how much would you charge for a commercial photo shoot on average?
So for me, I started part-time 2007, and then I would say I properly full-time 2012, 2013. So I mean, other people might charge more, but I would say between 350 to 450, more the 450 mark, to be honest with you. I know that it goes up. It's a bit like any job. The more experience you get promoted. And if there's one model on a commercial shoot and it's the same price, so some people might come and say, oh, we've just got one model, natural makeup. Obviously, if they have got a low budget, just ask, if it's like you said, an interesting project, I'm more than happy to help and get involved with as well. However, obviously, if that's why we can't do as many of these though anymore, because you will miss out on your income for another job.
Exactly.
And that's what people need to remember. But it will be the same price, 450 for the day, whether it's one model or 10 models. So the only difference is with 10 models, I might get an assistant or two, and then that will cost even more as well. But it's the same as what you're saying, you're heading it up and you're responsible, but you also have to be on watch to check. You don't know what that model's skin is like. You have to have a kit that suits everyone. They might come with a rash on their face, allergic to, I don't know, pollen, and come with something where you've got to cover it up, or it might be a really hot day and you're on sweat watch.
We have some of these. I know what this is.
You're just stabbing constantly.
And all this knowledge, it comes from experience and your expertise, knowing that you have to be going
you have to keep an eye all the time
for whatever happens, because that's happening for the shoots.
Absolutely.
And that reminds me of something like another thing we were talking earlier about half days, which actually half days don't really exist.
Do you get asked to do many half days?
Sometimes I think it's also people thinking that the job can be done in less time, which is a mistake we all think. Oh yeah, it should be fine. I do it myself. I think, oh yeah, I'll charge you this because I think in 1 hour it's done. 4 hours later, I'm still finishing it. So I think you always have to add a bit of an extra hours. Like I think I only did it once, that I had 2 jobs booked on the same day, and I had to run all over London to manage to get to the next one. It was very stressful, not recommendable to anyone.
No, because you have to pack up and everything as well, and you've got to, your brain isn't as focused, right?
It was not a good day. And unless you are like next door to this next studio, which that never happens. Normally people would say, oh, half day, but you would even charge more for half day. Like,
yeah.
then it wouldn't be proportion. It wouldn't be like I pay 800 pounds per day, so half day would be 400.
Yeah.
It would be more.
Also, if you did a half day, you that's your full day taken up, really. You can't take another job. So, you know, and like you said, it will tend to run over. You'll have actually more work to do, or your quality, you're rushing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's not really economical for anybody, really. If you think you're cutting back and trying to squeeze it down into half a day, or like you say, oh, I just want a few photos. You still have to, it's still going to be our full day taken up. Yeah, so that needs to take into consideration.
Times and everything. It's
What about weddings for you, Lara?
Yeah, weddings. Yeah, I don't do many, but again, it's 1,000 or even a bit more.
Yeah, because it needs to.
I don't have too much again because I don't. It's not my expertise. Yeah. I do really intimate small weddings that normally last less hours as well. But some people think like wedding photography is expensive, but I don't think it is. I mean, again, it depends because
I think that's really reasonable.
Yeah, people charge.
Are the wedding photographers more though?
Oh yeah.
That's So especially someone who does weddings all the time, do they charge like a lot more?
Yeah.
So actually 1,000 for you to do a wedding is really good.
Depends, because there's even agencies who put a drone, videography, everything. I know photographers charge 3,000 for a wedding, like the less, like
they promise them like thousands of photos after.
Yeah, and also that's the thing. Like I do small weddings, so I do less pictures, but more natural, candid shots. If you want a photo album, if you want, I'm not your photographer. Like then that's also price, and also it's expensive because you only have one chance.
Yeah,
there's no repetition. There's no go back and kiss the bride now because no. And for example, you sometimes have to schedule a bit of like a little photo shoot before the ceremony happens, or you need to make sure to go to the location first and check the light to make because you may have only 10 minutes those things, and there's no replay, there's no let's all pose again to do this, or everyone looking at the camera, so it's a lot of stress.
It's totally understandable. I think when I first started out and I was doing weddings, I was probably very, very cheap. And weren't we all? Yeah, you have to be at first, I feel, to get people to trust you, and so people, it was good. And but I think I even thought, oh, it's so expensive. People charge 450, 500 pounds for just the bride's hair and makeup. But now I understand myself, because actually, if you're doing a wedding, what I do is I have a minimum booking now of like 450 because it matches my day rate. And in that time, I can do a certain number of people. So I'm happy to work hard on a wedding morning. And, if you've got lots of bridesmaids and you want a whole package, that's fine. I can do all that for sure. So, but if someone then says, but I only want it for one bride, unfortunately it still needs to meet that day rate, because I can't take any other work in that day.
I think it's important for you to work out how much do you want to earn per day, or how much do you need to earn per day to make it a worthy business, it works for you. So that's how
it's a business, isn't it? You don't, for example, just as a comparison, if someone had or a policeman, they go to work one day, it's really quiet, you know, or firemen, you go to work and there's no fires, there's no emergency, you've just had a really relaxing day, you've maybe done a bit of training, but it's been quite a day. They get paid the same day rate, you know, of what it doesn't work. It's their experience and their qualifications and their skill. So that's just that's the same for our professions as well, isn't it? Sorry, I'm just checking. Was there, what else did we say we needed to clarify? So day rates for me are about 450, but the more experienced you go, the higher. I mean, I know people, makeup artists who get paid 3,000 a day.
I think also we both tailor our prices quite a lot to the project. We have an average of, we know that that's the minimum we need to earn on the day. But as you were asking me before, if it's a really good project that I really like and has a lower budget, reach out. Who knows? Like, maybe I'm free that day and I'm interested, or I really like you, so yeah, I'll do it. It's a favor, but maybe it's a consideration. So I would also advise to just check, and and then also, even if it's not your budget and it doesn't fit for you or it's too much, just say it as well. I think
what your budget is.
Say like, look, I'm sorry, not now. Fine, no problem. Like, reach out whenever it's suitable or whatever it works.
Because I do really like doing creative things as well, and working with new brands and new ideas, innovative things, or things that to do with charities and stuff like that, which I really believe in. And sometimes they don't have the budget. You know, they don't have the budget, but I will still do here or there those sorts of projects, which I love.
Would be also fashion in line with commercial with you?
No, so for me, I think if you've really honed in on the fashion world and you're doing big editorial covers and stuff, you can get, you know, it's well paid then, or you're the head lead makeup artist for Giorgio Armani, you know, whatever, for Fashion Week, of course, but you've got to start off quite low. For fashion, for me, it's a bit lower priced, because I think there's a lot of people there who want to do it. You know what I mean? So, and it's almost like seen as a privilege to do that cover shoot or something.
Tough, right? Because it's editorial, there's not much money, there's all about a bit of fame, a bit of like contacts, and normally I think commercial is you earn more money and fashion is less.
Yeah, unfortunately so. Well, I might, you know, unless you've made it big time, then that's great. Or you've got a really good agent as well, then that's cool as well, you know.
I think that helps. And then for e-commerce?
E-commerce, again, slightly less. Even though, you know, it's all about being quick. I suppose you said that before about the photography is slightly different as well. But
for me, e-commerce is a bit more mechanical. It requires less of my creativity. If it's products, I don't need to put all the effort on making someone feel comfortable, because if I'm shooting objects, I'm normally by myself. I deal with the client, but then it's way less than a commercial shoot. And it, again, it depends also if I'm doing from the studio, which then I need to add the expenses to the studio, or if I'm going into the client side, then it's less if they provide all the equipment. So
expenses and things on top. There's a lot to think about, really, but hopefully
sorry.
I was just going to say, hopefully we've given some people some good rough ideas of how much photographers and a hair and makeup artist would cost. I know that there are other makeup artists and hairstylists that just do hair or just do makeup. They charge more than what I charge us together. So I reckon, you know, see myself as a bargain.
A good deal, Jen.
I'm a good deal. I'll do a good deal for you.
Please help.
Anyway, Have we sort of covered everything?
I think so. I think we did the more of like commercial, the more fashion side, the wedding, which are three different industries that where we work. And yeah, I would just say, like, if people have questions or anything, they can always reach out. You never know. You would be surprised expecting a really like expensive rate, and actually it's not that much. But I would advise people to not be tight when planning your budget on
in your planning and your budget. These are the prices that we think are a good average, so that you're getting someone with a decent amount of experience and you're going to get good quality service.
Exactly. It's what you were saying before about having a good model, having a good makeup artist, having a good photographer. It does makes a lot of difference.
Yeah. If you scrimp on one area, it can affect the whole thing and you can end up with crap. Basically.
Yeah, it's a waste of time and a waste
that that you can't use or you're not happy with. Cool.
All the three ones need to be all important.
Yeah. Oh well, anyway, good to talk money with you.
Yes.
We should talk about something else next time to do with people's perceptions of what a photographer does. Just one click.
Just pressing a button.
Yeah.
Just do a natural look that doesn't look like I have makeup on.
I'm just putting some powder on.
We'll talk about it in the next week. And we'll the beat of our industry.
Okay. All right then. Anyway, have a good day, Laura, and hope you've all enjoyed watching.
Yeah.
Bye.